Oh, it's Tuesday, baby. If you have no sense of humor, talk about it Tuesday for you, baby. Oh, tacos. Oh my goodness, guys. I have been looking forward to Tuesday. I can't lie. I love the silly songs, and I think that's my favorite part about Tuesday. Oh goodness. I can't lie. I think this song literally makes me giggle every time I hear it. This and the Rub Some Bacon on It song. Like, you can't have a bad day. Like, you can't. You just can't. You can't be silly like that and then have a bad day. Like, I think that just does not even equate. So, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, my voice is still a little rough. I still have a little bit of that dry, hacky cough. So we're going to hang out for probably about 20 minutes, a half an hour this afternoon. And then later this afternoon, we're going to make something awesome together today. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the keto brick yet, Joette sent me one to check out. Now, I don't know how often they release them. I do know that they sell right out. Like, this is the biggest complaint I hear about these, is they release them and then they sell right out. But tomorrow is their next release, and they're releasing the mocha flavor, which is the one that Joette sent me. So today we're going to do another ridiculous recipe. And that is the word I made up, ridiculous. Because for me to invest in these kinds of convenience products, I want to be able to break them down and make them last longer. Speaking of which, I'll show you guys, I still have the unicorn treats that we made together last week. So I made the first batch was 7 of them, and the second batch was 7. I still have second batch in the tray, and out of first batch, I still have 2 left. So since I originally made these, I ate 5 of them. So if you guys think that I make them and I go nuts and I eat them all at one time, it's taken me this many days to eat 5. But I want to show you guys what they look like again, because they're so pretty. And they're the layer of chocolate and the sparkle and then the brick at the bottom. But what I love about them is, like today and these last few days when I've been sick, is they're a nice little boost of extra fats and proteins. So for me, I'm not likely to just eat it off the brick. And no judgment. If you guys totally love just mowing down on the brick, that's totally cool. But for me, I like to break it down and make cool, fun, different things out of it. So I still have another batch of these to either to gift or to save for next week. So they do last me quite a while when I make these kinds of treats. What we're going to make today, I'm super excited about it. We're going to make a dairy-free mocha ice cream. I'm going to post the recipe for you guys to make coconut yogurt. So we're going to use a coconut yogurt base, and I'm going to show you guys the recipe for that, how to make that. And we're going to add the mocha brick. Then we're going to melt down some crackle on the top. So I'm super excited for ice cream. I'm in the feeling for comfort food, and I totally want some ice cream for the comfort foods. I can't lie. I'm going to scooch you guys a little closer just so I don't have to raise my voice. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Keto Police. And if they're on your butt, because, yeah, quite often the Keto Police are on my butt. Just, if they are on your butt, it's not just you. They hound me too. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. Now, if you guys are watching on Facebook, included in the description is an awesome video that Amy Berger did the other day. And I would love for you guys to take a moment to watch that. I'll post the link for you. It's also listed on the Instagram post for here if you guys want to go over to YouTube and watch that video. But it was really, really amazing. And I think half the issue is we're all grown adults. We all need to make our own choices. And some of us feel the need to be bossy. about it, right? And mean about it. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that. If you're, in groups that are pressuring you and giving you a hard time and, telling you that's not keto, that's not right. There are nice ways to go about things. But I kind of wanted to flip that all the way around to the other side and talk to you guys about what my experience with Keto Police gave me instead of what it took from me. Because I think a lot of times when we think about these people and oppressive groups and, mean girl mentality and bullying mentality, we think a lot about the things that it takes from us, how it makes it hard, how it makes our journey more difficult when we don't feel supported. And it did all of those things to me. I won't lie. It did every single one of those things to me. It dampened my spirit. It made me feel hopeless. It made me feel like I was failing yet again after a lifetime of failing at, every diet I'd ever tried in my whole life, because clearly there was something wrong with me particularly, and I don't know, I had no willpower. All the reasons I wanted to blame myself for all of the incessant failures, why I would follow the standard American diet and still gain weight. Still, every time I went to my doctor, I would fail. And when I first started doing keto on my own and I found keto groups, now I think I had a benefit. I was doing it on my own for a really long time before I found groups. Because Dori, not so smooth, I didn't know Facebook groups were a thing. I was already doing keto on my own for almost 6 months by the time I dipped my toes into the Facebook group world. So at that point, I was already pretty sure about what I was doing for the most part. I mean, I was doing some things wrong. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Karen. Karen from Cambodia. I love you, darling. I was doing some things wrong. I mean, I won't say I was doing everything right. I had a basic idea of what I should be doing. And when I hit the groups that were less than pleasant, because let's be honest, you don't know that up front, right? You join a group, you kind of cruise it a little bit, you see what the posts are, maybe you post a question, and then you see what the reaction is like. So you might not always know right off the bat that it's not a nice group. Some of them you know right away. Like, 2 of the groups I was in, the very first comments I saw in them made me go, oh, wow. So one group, a lady, and oh, bless her, like, I feel so bad for her. They shredded her so bad, like the worst shredding I've ever seen. She said this. Now, I will tell you guys, she did not say she wanted to eat bananas or oatmeal. I want to say that right off the bat. This poor woman did not even say she wanted to eat bananas or oatmeal. But what she did say was, oh, well, what am I supposed to do now? I usually eat bananas and oatmeal for breakfast. So what should I have for breakfast instead? I've never seen a bloodbath like that. Like, there, not one person other than me suggested something else she could eat. They just went for the jugular. Keto is not oatmeal. Oatmeal, you can't have it. You can't have bananas. And they went up one side of her and down the other. And I was like, but she didn't say she wanted to eat bananas and oatmeal. She just said that's what she used to eat. What could she eat instead? And there was never any instead. There was never any suggestion of anything instead. It was just the brutal tearing down of what people thought. And it was just a blast fest. Have you done any research? Do you know anything about keto? Perhaps you should learn something before you're coming into a keto beginners group. Now, that's a comment I've heard more than one time. I want some hearts or some thumbs up if you guys have heard that before. Have you ever been in a keto beginners group, a keto for beginners group, where they actually said things like, do you know anything about keto? Maybe you should do a little research before you come in our group and ask questions. Oh, I think that's my least favorite. And I think that my true soft spot is for the newbie, because I won't lie to you guys, I knew nothing. I knew less than nothing, like less than nothing. When I heard keto and I learned it on my own, I didn't even know enough about it that my first video on YouTube doesn't say, "Hi, I'm Dori. Welcome to my new channel where we're going to learn all about the ketogenic diet." Because I learned online and I taught myself, and nobody spoke it out loud to me until I put myself out there and I started talking online to you guys. And then that's when I learned I was saying it wrong. And it was funny because it was a classic Dori moment. And one of my ladies messaged me and said, "I love you, girl. And please know that this is no disrespect. I adore you. But it's keto diet, not keto." And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because Dori, and are you sure? I can never be wrong without asking someone if they're sure. Like, I don't know why. When someone says to me, "Dori, you're wrong," my immediate reaction is, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Because I don't know for sure that I'm wrong about that. She sent me the Google pronunciation. I was wrong. And you know what though? I can suck that up when I'm wrong. And I can admit it. And I say lots of things wrong. I have done lots of things wrong. So I want you guys to know that if you feel like you know nothing less than nothing, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that's where you're going to be forever. Keto Neo, hello. I'm so excited. So if you guys don't know who Keto Neo is, I didn't until this morning either, when my lovely Joette accidental added me to his amazing group. She follows you, she loves you, and she loves your carnivore advice as well. So we're gonna get to know each other. I think we might do a live together and chat with you guys about his group, which is the Keto Matrix, which, how cool is that? How much do you love the Matrix movies? Just putting that out there. If I was feeling better, I would totally try to do like the Matrix moves for you guys right now. I'm sick. I'm just gonna blame it on being sick. Like, when I'm fitter. Yeah, we'll do it when I'm fitter. And you know what, Keto Neo, I feel the same way too. You know what? All I do is come out and share what I've learned. You know, what I've learned with you guys in my journey, because I started exactly where you did. I heard the word keto. I didn't know what it meant. I started to research. It sounded like it made sense to me. I was like, well, that just makes sense. How could that not make sense? That sounds like what I should be eating. When I sat down and I looked at the foods that it said I should eat and the foods I shouldn't eat, it just really made sense to me, and my passion and my desire took over. And if you guys are sciencey to the core, I love you. Bless your soul. Dori didn't care. Like, I didn't care. It sounded like it was the right thing for me. I'm all about passion. I'm all about fury. And I just decided I was going to try it. And when I hit that wall of people who said, you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, I took it for a little while. Only for a little while though. And then I got so mad. Like, the inside of me, I was so angry, because I was so tired of grown adults telling me what I couldn't have without ever offering a suggestion of what I could have. And that's what made me mad. Not that they were saying, oh, you know, potatoes aren't keto. We all know potatoes aren't keto. But the fact that they would say things like, well, that's not keto. How stupid are you? Instead of saying, you know what, we avoid really starchy root vegetables, and maybe you might like to try a cauliflower mash. Have you tried that? Have you, tried substituting with spaghetti squash or zucchini? But there was never any suggestion past the no. And that, honestly, that's what created me. I was so angry and I was so mad, and I thought, you don't know. You don't know. I can make anything I want. I can figure out a way to have it. Now, when I was chatting with Nancy this morning, a thought hit me like a lightning bolt that never hit me before. Two things that I never realized were tied together until we were talking about it today. Now, when I encountered the Keto Police, they follow me around from time to time to remind me that food coloring, isn't strict keto, and, I might be killing people with fun. Just putting that out there. I might be having too good of a time. Those people were really quick to point out to me that food is not for pleasure. Food is for fuel. And the sooner that I accept that food is not fun, it is not enjoyable, it is not for pleasure, as soon as I gave up trying to recreate old world food, as soon as I gave up, the idea of sweet things and flavorful things, that then I would be happy. The sooner I let go of the fact that, food is what I thought it was, the happier I would be. And when I heard those words, I died a little on the inside. I died a lot on the inside. And I thought, but how is that living? How is that even living? If I'm going to say I'm making the choice between being healthy and having a happy, sustainable life where I have a good relationship with food that I enjoy, that I truly love, what you're saying doesn't sound like that much fun to me. It doesn't sound that awesome. Like, I'm gonna put that out there, and I'm gonna say that doesn't sound that great to me, to, just give up on all hope. Well, you know what? I spent a lifetime giving up on hope. I gave up on being thin. I gave up on being healthy. I gave up on being happy. And at that point, I decided I was going to be fat anyways, so I may as well eat whatever I wanted. And at that time, we all wanted to live the fat girl dream. And this is where we're going to tie two ideas together. Follow my train of thought here, because you guys are going to like this one. Now, as a fat girl, wasn't the ultimate dream to be able to eat whatever we want, to have cake, to have pie, to have pizza, to have Chinese food, to have donuts, to have all of these things that we want, but not gain any weight? Right? That was the ultimate fat girl dream, to be able to eat anything you want, as much as you want, as much as you desire, and not get fat. Now, for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, it'll be 2 years in April, I won't lie, I've been living the fat girl dream. I have been living the fat girl dream. I eat what I want, when I want. I create a version of what I want. If I'm not eating cake today, it's because I don't feel like eating cake today. I could eat it if I felt like it. For me, the key is never feeling like I can't something, right? Because as soon as I can't, then guess what I gotta do? I've got to. I must binge. If I can't have any cake this week, then on the weekend, maybe I better have 3 pieces of cake, because all week long, I'm not gonna have any cake. So maybe I better stock up on the cake. And for me, with keto, just knowing that I can have what I want when I want it has changed how I feel about food. But I think that if somebody hadn't been stomping on all of my hopes and dreams, I honestly think if somebody hadn't been stomping all over my hopes and dreams and making me sad every day, I might not have sought out the joy in keto for myself. I mean, up until that point, I was just kind of doing the standard, whatever keto. If I felt like eating something, I'd Google it, but I didn't create things of my own to that point. I just kind of, Googled what I was looking for, and I made it. I I never thought to think outside of the box and go outside of what was available and to create something new that was different, that was exciting, that was something I thought I couldn't have. And it caught a fire in me to be able to think of all the things I really wanted and to create them in a keto version. And I can't lie, it sounds kind of dirty when I say I lived the fat girl dream, but I have. I've had everything that I desire. At St. Patrick's Day, I made a keto version of the Shamrock Shake. And then I made an all-natural version of that for people who can't have sweeteners and food colors. You know, at Christmas time, I made ice cream. I made treats. At Thanksgiving, I made faux sweet potato wedges. I literally make whatever I want, and I don't have to have that feeling of being deprived, of suffering and going without, that leads to that binge that I can never seem to avoid, right? And you're so right, Karen. Food is so ingrained in our culture. It's love, it's caring, it's comfort, it's all of the good things we learn through our food, right? And we learn all of our bad habits through our food as well. I had some really, really, really bad food habits. Really bad. I mean, let's be honest. You don't get to 290 pounds if you have a healthy relationship with food. Like, it doesn't happen. You can be as healthy as you want and you can have a great relationship with food, but there is no way you have a healthy, well-balanced relationship with food when you're 5'5" and you weigh 290 pounds. I can admit I never had a healthy relationship with food. I do now. But that's what keto does for me. It allows me to not make food be my focus. And here's the irony. In the same way that the Keto Police didn't want me to focus on my food being important by making it bland and boring, I still achieved that same ideal. Food no longer runs my life, but I didn't have to give up all of the fun, all of the flavor, all of the journey that's come along the way. I get it. I get the idea of where they're going. If you don't obsess over food, if food doesn't run your life, then you're happier and healthier. And I get that. But guess what? I got there too. We can all get to that point where we love ourselves, where we love our food, where we have a healthy relationship with food. There isn't any one way to get there. At the end of the day, we each need to find our way to get there. And depending on your own personal circumstances, emotional, mental issues, food issues, all of these things will play into the pieces of your journey that fit just right for you. So I'm going to take a quick scroll and see what you guys have. Oh, Heather says, I'm waiting on a Dori keto cookbook. Okay, so I'm not going to lie to you guys. So my very first mini cookbook has kind of sort of been almost like this close to ready since June. Since June! But the problem is I'm not technically savvy. And I'm having a hard time moving format to format to be able to publish. I'm just not smooth. But it is coming. There will be, rather than doing full-size cookbooks, what I've decided to do for you guys is mini cookbook collections. These are things that we'll be able to have available online to us for very, very, very nominal cost. And then we can collect them together, and they're stuff that we'll be able to share out. Because I know for me, the same as with a lot of things, I don't always have a lot of budget. I want to maybe just try a small portion of. You know, I'd like to just try a couple recipes from one person, a couple recipes from somebody else. So we're going to do something like that. And then we'll get to do fun collections. The first one is actually about fasting, believe it or not, because when I was working on that book in group, we were very focused on fasting and intermittent fasting. It was right around the time that most of us discovered what intermittent fasting was. I was quite disappointed. I don't know if you guys were disappointed like I was. I was so excited when I heard the word and I was, intermittent fasting? Everyone is getting such good results. I'm gonna have to research that. And when I researched it, I was like, well, dang it all. I already do that. I already do that by just eating when I'm hungry and not eating when I'm not hungry. Well, there's no magic cure in that. Oh. On the plus side, I never had to go into any big effort or scheduling to intermittent fast. I didn't readjust my eating schedule. I didn't change my whole life around to bring intermittent fasting into my life. I just realized I was already doing it and went, yay. Because what else do you do? Oh my goodness. Oh, Kat says lunchtime is over. Catch you later. Mwah. Oh, I love you, lady. I love you. So I want you guys to know that, you know what? Encountering people who dampen your spirit doesn't have to dampen your spirit. Like, I know it sounds silly. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta blow my nose. I'm still a little bit dripply in the face here. Wow. So attractive. That's why I, go off camera to do that. Woo! That is snazzy. Snazzy. Maybe I'll be feeling like 1,000,000% within a couple of days, but I'm still a little rough. But I want you guys to know that every time I've encountered that, because it's happened to me more than one time, I'm the fun food girl, right? And not only am I the fun food girl, I'm right out there on the internet telling people they can have fun food, they can be creative, they can make whatever they want, they can enjoy their food. So that garnishes me some attention, which usually is not necessarily the positive kind of attention from people like that, because, I'm running around telling people that keto can be fun. It doesn't have to be, serious and hard and difficult, and you don't have to choose between your health and a fun life. So, but I want you guys to know that every time I've encountered someone like that, it fuels me to do this for you guys, because I know that it doesn't have to be miserable. It doesn't have to be sad. You don't have to go without the things to lose the weight. And you know what? My whole life, I always thought I had to go without the things to lose the weight, right? That was it. You had to go without the things long enough. You had to have enough willpower. You had to be strong enough. You had to tell yourself over and over and again how bad the things were, and what a shitty human being you were if you ate them, and remind yourself all day, every day, that you had no willpower, you weren't a good person, you probably couldn't handle it on your own. And at the end of 3 days, binge fest. Because at the end of 3 days, I had eaten really good, I was a really good girl, and I deserved a reward. I didn't have any donuts all week long. I could have 3 now, right? We use our brain to trick us in a lot of ways. But honestly, for me, the key was when someone said I couldn't have it, it just made me want it more. I guess the forbidden fruit thing. So if people are telling you, keto's not for you, or the way that you keto isn't for you, then take a step back and just think, you know what? Let me bring a little joy back into my own life. You can be miserable if you want to. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have a good time. And I'm gonna enjoy all the amazing good foods that I want. And I don't indulge in the treats and the snacks and, the high carby options all of the time. But for me, the key is knowing that I could if I want to. I could if I want to. Yesterday, I made myself a a mug bread and an egg sandwich. I ate half of that because it was so filling. And then I ate the chicken pot pie that you guys made me see. And that was my food. That was my food for the day. So that's the thing. When I eat such a small amount, I will be damned. I will be damned if that food is going to be boring. Like, if I said to you that you get to eat one serving this size and one serving half that size in a day, would you be okay with that food being boring? That's my question to you. Like, would that be all right by you? Because for me, it's just not. And I think that's part of why I love for my food to be art. I want it to awaken all of my senses. I want it to be beautiful. I want it to smell good. I want it to taste good. I want it to give me all of the feelings and experiences that I want from my food. And when you're only eating a small amount, it needs to be pretty awesome. I just put that out there. Tamara says, I looked at dieting just like you did. After I would lose a couple of pounds, I'd say, that's right, I deserve that treat because I lost it, duh. And then what do? You gain back that 5 pounds. Oh, I lost 5 pounds. I get to celebrate. You go on a weekend binge and you gain back 3 pounds. And you're like, oh, well, I guess back to dieting. And that's how it would work. You know, you'd lose a couple, gain a couple, lose a couple, gain a couple. Always in that never-ending circle of awesomeness that always just made me feel like the biggest failure. Like, I never felt like there was any true success. Even if I lost 5 pounds, I knew the other shoe was going to drop, and by next week, I was probably going to gain that back. So I never truly enjoyed any success. I just never really did, because I was waiting for it to come right back. So I'm going to sign out with you guys for now. I have a couple errands to run, and I'm going to get everything together, and we are going to make some ice cream together today. I'm super excited. I've been craving me some ice cream. I do the store-bought once in a while. Kind of rings my bell with the sweeteners. So when possible, I like to make my own ice cream. It's just it tends to be time consuming. We're going to make an instant ice cream recipe because I don't have a churner. So hang out with me later this afternoon. I'm guessing probably around 5 p.m. Mountain. And we're going to get together and we are going to make some ridiculous mocha ice cream. And I'm thinking, what the heck, why don't we listen to a little Brick House? Let's get our taco song back. And I am so excited to hang out with you guys later today. I'm going to get our speed right. I love the double speed taco song. It's my favorite. By speed 4, it just doesn't even make any sense anymore. Oh. And 1 speed is just too slow. Like, what is that?
It's raining tacos, run out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos, see tacos.
See you guys soon.